I found out my parents had secretly been paying for my sister's kid's private school while refusing to help with my daughter's cancer treatment. She didn't make it. Today, I finally confronted them at dinner and the table exploded. 3 years ago, my daughter Riley passed away. She was 7 with a serious illness requiring intensive treatment and medications insurance wouldn't cover. Adrian and I did everything. Maxed credit cards, took loans, sold our car, started a fundraiser. We were drowning watching our little girl suffer, begging anyone for help. I called my parents, desperate. Riley had been hospitalized 2 months and the next cancer treatment wasn't covered. We needed $45,000 fast. I was crying, barely able to speak. My mom answered and I explained everything. How Riley was brave but tired, how doctors said this could save her life. Long pause. Then my mother said coolly, "You know we're on a fixed income. We don't have that money." I got on my knees in that hospital corridor and begged, told her we'd pay back every cent. My dad said the same thing. They were sorry, wished they could help, but couldn't afford it. We got the money through Adrian's parents taking a second mortgage, my boss giving me a year's salary advance, and a medical loan. Riley got treatment, but it wasn't enough. 6 months later, my baby passed in my arms. Her last words, "I love you, mommy. Don't be sad." My sister Sabrina has 3 kids, all healthy, all attending Westfield Academy. Tuition runs $35,000 per year per child. That's $105,000 annually. 2 weeks ago, I had coffee with my roommate Rebecca, who works at Westfield Academy. She mentioned, "It's wonderful your parents helped Sabrina with tuition. I processed the payment from their account last week." I must have looked shocked because Rebecca looked concerned. After pressing, she told me the truth. My parents had been paying full tuition for all 3 of Sabrina's kids for 4 years. $105,000 every year. For 4 years, that's $420,000. $420,000 for private school while my daughter passed because they claimed they couldn't spare $45,000 for cancer treatment. The first tuition payment was August, 7 years ago. Riley was diagnosed in June. My parents committed over $100,000 yearly to private school within 2 months of Riley's diagnosis. They knew she was sick. They knew we were struggling. They chose to write those checks anyway. Yesterday, I got a text. "Sunday dinner at our house. Please come." Today, I drove to my parents' house. Sabrina's Tesla was in the driveway. "We're so glad you could make it," my mother said. I waited through pleasantries. Then, "You seem quiet. Is everything all right? I need to talk to you all." The table went quiet. I had coffee with Rebecca Cooper. She works at Westfield Academy. Fear flickered in my mother's eyes. She said mom and dad have been paying the tuition. All of it. For all 3 kids. For 4 years. Silence. Sabrina's face went pale. "Do you remember when Riley was sick? When I called you begging for help, my voice shook. You said you were on a fixed income. Said you didn't have that money." I laughed bitterly. I needed $45,000 to save my daughter's life. But you could afford $105,000 yearly for Sabrina's kids' private school. "It's not that simple," my father said. "Simple? Explain how private school is more important than saving your granddaughter's life." Sabrina found her voice. "I didn't know about this. You knew where that money came from. Even at Riley's funeral, you said nothing. You're upsetting the children," my father said. "I'm upsetting the children? I watched my child pass because you chose private school over her life." I held her during her final moments, never knowing you had the money to help, my mother cried. "We thought it was risky. The doctors said no guarantees. At least with school, we knew the money would be used well. You gambled on my daughter's life because there were no guarantees. She was 7 and fighting for her life. We couldn't afford both," my father said. "You chose Sabrina's children over mine." Then my father said words that will haunt me forever. "Riley wasn't going to make it anyway. The doctors gave her 30% chance even with treatment. It would have been wasting money." The sound from me wasn't quite human. Sabrina gasped. "Get away from me," I said. "Let us explain," my mother begged. "You just did. Riley's life wasn't worth the investment." I looked at each of them. "Riley loved you. Even in the hospital, she'd ask about you. She made you drawings. She never knew her grandparents valued her less than private school tuition. We loved her," my mother wept. "Love is actions, not words. And your actions showed exactly where Riley ranked dead last." I walked out and haven't looked back. My phone's been ringing nonstop, but I blocked all their numbers.